the Hub on Hollywood, an iHeartRadio podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
I'm the other co-host, Jamie Blanco.
On this week's episode, Jurassic World Rebirth takes a big chomp out of the box office, as well as any hope that the franchise can be saved.
Oh, is that so? Okay.
I know. I went in with low expectations, and I left. We'll get into it. Hello there.
Hi.
The celebrity guest list for Boston Fan EXPO has been released, and we have a lot of big names coming to town.
Yeah.
So very excited to get into that. Movie studios not so happy, not so excited for the extra ads that are being played at movie theaters. I'm looking at you, AMC. We're all looking at you.
He's so mad.
Yeah, and an Arnold Schwarzenegger classic is getting the Glen Powell treatments.
Ooh,
all that
shiny.
And more. But Jamie,
yes, James.
I have to ask you, how much sleep do you usually get on an average night?
Well, it depends because I work overnights on the weekends. But say I'm not
or
working.
Rather day. Right,
yeah. It's 7, 8, 9 hours.
Okay, that's much better than me.
Yeah,
and I don't work crazy hours like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get half decent. Yeah. Now the kids are bigger.
I guess you have something in common with Dakota Johnson. Because Dakota Johnson, she recently came out talking about what her sleep schedule looks like. And people are either relating to it, apparently, or they're just fuming mad about it.
Okay.
So the Madam Web actress recently talked about how she prioritizes her sleep in order to function.
Yes.
She says she needs at least 10 hours of sleep and can easily sleep for 14 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's a cat.
So she's a cat. She's a cat in human form.
Yeah.
And when I told my wife about this, and I had the same reaction, I'm like you have to be on a privilege level, on a certain amount of privilege, to be able to do that.
Yes, it is
Seemingly.
A tremendous privilege because you have to not have a job, not have responsibilities during the day, like no kids or activities that you need to get to. It's like if you're not on a movie set, you're just. But you know what? That's a good thing, though.
That's a good
something
thing.
We should all aspire to. If you can give yourself that much, that's great for your body. It's great for your mind.
Of course.
But let's say 99% of people can't actually do that.
Right. So I get on average like 5 or 6 hours.
You gotta
of sleep
more.
I should, but the thing is, I get up early in the morning, so wake up around 3:00 in the morning for work.
Yeah.
And then I try to go to bed around 8 o'clock. Sometimes it turns into 8:30, and then I wake up 3. So roughly around 6 hours or so. And I think because my daughter goes to bed at 7. And I feel I need 1 hour to be able to get things ready for the next day and stuff. So that kills it. That kills an hour. And so I think on average it's 6 hours. I think I function well enough, and overall pretty good. But just to hear somebody gets at least 10 hours, they need at least 10 hours to function, and then 14 is that's their golden. Period.
I would say that's a dream come true.
Yeah. Again, if you don't have kids and if you don't work a typical job most of us do, you can't do that.
Also, does that even really jive with making movies? Because anybody who's ever worked on a movie set ever, they're all gnarly and they're running off of 2 hours of sleep and coffee and possibly cocaine. I'm just saying there's a lot of caffeine that needs to come into the picture because you're working sometimes 12, 14, 16-hour days, having to go back to the hotel and then short turnaround back in the morning, keep going. So it's 3 months of of a marathon where you're barely sleeping and doing all of this work. So how does she function when she needs to make movies? But then again, she is the star. So
there is that phrase, and correct me because I'm kind of butcher it, but there's a lot of busy waiting on set.
Yes.
Everyone's
hurry
in
up
a rush.
Wait.
Everybody hurry up and wait. Everybody's in a rush and you're just waiting. So maybe during the downtime she's able to get in those cat naps, those several hours to do that. But so she says she doesn't require 15 hours of sleep every night, but if her schedule allows it, she doesn't use an alarm clock and relies on her body's natural rhythm. I'm curious of what our listeners and viewers what their nightly routine or how many hours they get on a daily basis, because again, 10 to 14, that sounds like such a privilege. It's like
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this was the surprise topic and not that I pissed off like an entire state again. So
oh no, that'll be in a future episode, I'm sure. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Dakota Johnson, good for you. That's great. May all of us get that at some point at some time.
I pray.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else is good for someone? Good for one of our listeners and viewers of the Hub on Hollywood podcast. As you know, we recently crossed, and we are well into the 500 plus subscribers range, and we put out a challenge asking people, hey, to go out there on our comments, comment down below, like the video, and you have the chance of winning a T-shirt and a hat, and we have a winner.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we have a winner. Miss Chili Beanie. Chili Beanie.
Chili Beanie.
Are you trying to work that? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easier to scroll with your fingers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, two fingers.
What?
We have the best technology here.
Oh my God! Wait, but you have to. Okay.
Yeah, we go.
I don't use Macs.
No.
Sorry, but Chili Beanie.
Chili Beanie, congratulations! Yeah. So you have a hat and a shirt on its way. It's in the mail. It should be arriving to you soon. And a big thank you to yourself, but also everyone else who continuously watches the podcast, joins the conversation, shares with their friends, likes, and appreciates the movie industry like we do.
Yes, all of our new subscribers. Chili also follows us on Instagram. We've got tons of fun and exciting content.
Yeah.
I love the little bits that you put together of our podcast, like the little reels and whatnot, of just a smash of the best of our nonsense.
Yeah, the greatest hits.
Throughout. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing one of the shirts that Chili Beanie is going to be getting.
Woo.
If you can look, if you're watching on YouTube, which you should, we also have the logo in the back, the Hub on Hollywood logo. So
Giant logo.
So I'm sure in the future we're going to have more contests and more opportunities for people to get a shirt, get some merch. There's a lot of merch options out there that we can get out there. So again,
what kind of merch do you guys want?
we're accepting suggestions, but these are just suggestions. No, but thank you so much, and looking forward to more episodes and more people joining us on this thing we call the Hub on Hollywood.
That is right.
What's our fan club name? The Hub Club?
Yeah, the Hub Club.
We're the Hub Club.
Woo,
so,
go Hub Club.
Go Hub Club.
Which is getting bigger every day.
Absolutely.
Soon we will have millions and we will take over the world.
Absolutely. All right, and speaking of taking over the world, we have a bunch of celebrities who are going to be taking over the Boston Convention Center in August 8th through the 9th. 8th through the 10th. And we have we always bring out big name celebrities.
Yeah.
And I feel like this year we have so many, and so this is going to be a good one.
We've had some really great years in the past.
We have, yeah.
So who have we got?
So, of course, a lot of Star Wars fans. We have a lot of Star Wars people on this list, too, but Star Wars fans are going to be really excited to get the chance to meet and greet Ewan McGregor.
Yay!
Hayden Christensen, he's on here as well. John Cena!
Will you even be able to see him,
You won't
James?
be able to see the Cena, but you will be able to ask him questions because he'll be here for a Q&A. So that's a great thing to do. I think he'll be there on Saturday, which will be a 9th. We have Orlando Bloom. Of course, he's in the new Jurassic World movie, which we will be reviewing on this podcast. Also, John Rhys Davies, who plays the dwarf. So they're going to have a little reunion, him and Orlando Bloom. I'm really excited for Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg is coming to Boston. So that's going to be really fun.
Nice.
Tamora Morrison of the Mandalorian and Book of Boba. Here's more list. We have John Boyega, Jason Isaacs.
Dante Bosco. I'm excited for John Boyega, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just mentioned. Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt, the original Twista.
Yes,
Twista chaser.
exactly. So that's going to be amazing. James Marsden, friend of the show.
Right? Marsden? No, that's James Marsters. James Marsters of Buffy the Vampire Slayer fame. He's coming back. Manny Jacinto.
Right? He plays
Spike.
Oh, yes.
Manny Jacinto, he was in The Good Place, and he was also in The Acolyte, the Star Wars. He's like the main villain for The Acolyte. Spoilers. So I loved him in A Good Place. So happy that he's coming. Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who played, iconically McLovin. Giancarlo Esposito, DJ Qualls, Dante Bosco.
Dante Bosco.
Yeah.
Isn't it Dante Bosco?
Oh, yeah, Dante Bosco, my autocorrect.
The voice of
Zuko,
from
he was also in
Avatar.
Hook, a lot of voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
I am disappointed. Of course, not every celebrity is going to be able to make it, so we have some canceled folks who are not arriving. Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame and many other great stuff. Ernie Hudson, that would be a great to have seen. Kellen Lewitz and Peter Fasinelli, who were both in the Twilight films, they are not able to make it.
Who are you most excited
Simon
for?
Pegg. Simon Pegg. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
Mission
right.
Impossible, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, everything he's in, he's fantastic. So
Awesome.
He seems like a great dude too.
Yeah. I want to see Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt will be fun.
I want to chat with her. She just seems like just such a chill person.
Yeah, I'm surprised or kind of bummed that she wasn't in Twisters. That'd be cool if she played like the main, protagonist character's mom,
Or something like that. Or she's like the idol that she got to meet one time or something.
Or in the beginning of the movie, she's like running the team, and then she ends up being among those who get killed.
Oh my
And
God.
then she's like, "Whoa!"
That would be a little much, I think, for the fans.
And then really the protagonist is like,
Yeah.
man, I can't do this anymore. And then, down the road, she gets to get called back into action.
Yeah. You know who else you might get to meet
Who?
here in New England? Apparently Kurt Russell, or at least see him.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still in town, but he was celebrating the 4th of July in Arlington, Massachusetts here. I guess he went to the home of one of his ancestors who fought in the American Revolution. And so over in Arlington, there is the Jason Russell House and Museum, and it's a site of a very important battle, one of the bloodiest battles of that day and in that time. And so he recently learned about this ancestry and went there on the 4th of July and, talked to the historians, talked to the folks who run the museum, and learned more about his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Okay.
Who was a very
How many greats is that? It's like 5 greats?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 greats in
my
there.
God.
Grandfather,
Yeah.
who he says was instrumental in changing the world or playing a role in changing the world. Jason Russell, he actually was killed on his front porch. On the front porch steps during that battle. So, so really cool. Again,
and they're just chilling on the front porch, like.
yeah, just saying hey, this is history is made and everywhere in Massachusetts, during that period. So cool for Kurt Russell or for anybody really to learn that they had family who participated in such a incredible part of our history and the making of our nation.
I know I can't really trace my family back very far, but my husband, I guess the second boat after the Mayflower can trace some of his relatives all the way back to that. Like that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That you can go back
That's awesome.
that far or farther. But you won't have to go far. James, if you would like to see a very special screening of Dogma.
Ah, yeah.
We were
the
talking
classic.
about this
The
not
cult
far.
classic, yeah.
We were talking about this not too long ago. Kevin Smith is going to be coming to New Hampshire, to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the Music Hall. This is happening on August 1st. He's going to be doing an in-person screening of the cult classic, followed by a live Q&A. He never does this, so this is a really cool opportunity. It says, relive the chaos of angels, prophets who talk too much, and hear from the creator himself. So that's really exciting. As far as everything that's happened with Dogma historically, where people really couldn't get their hands on it for the longest time, and now you finally can. And what were we talking about last week that's happening with Dogma? Are they doing a sequel, or is it just that
It was just getting re-released in theaters.
re-released? Yeah. So
for the first time in decades that they had the ability or right to do it.
Exactly. So it's one of my favorite cult classics, and looking forward to that if we can make it.
Yeah. Speaking of cult classics, have you seen The Running Man?
No.
Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, the novel written by Stephen King. No, you haven't. So
No.
So the second movie to be based off the novel by Stephen King is going to be getting a reboot, and it's going to be starring none other than Glen Powell. Our
Oh,
boy,
my
Glen
goodness.
Powell. I like that dude. I think he's very charismatic. I think he does everything I've seen him in. He's been good. He's been really good. And so I'm excited that he was named as the lead for the Running Man reboot. Even more excited, however, learning that the film is going to be directed by Edgar Wright, who famously has directed Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Last Night in Soho.
Oh my God.
So this is going to be really good. The trailer looks amazing already. So if anybody could fill the boots of Arnold Schwarzenegger and become the Running Man, I think it's Glen Powell.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer?
I have not seen the trailer.
After this, check out the trailer, and because it looks really good. And every now and then I'm kind of like, oh, they're rebooting another movie. But, I've heard mixed things about The Running Man. People say it's a cult classic or it is a classic. But others say, it's not that good. And so my theory is that, if the original movie wasn't that good or could be made better, then go for it. I have problems with them touching perfect movies and then doing a reboot and then just making it just not as good.
So you're hoping that that Edgar Wright is going to come in and just make this better.
Oh, yeah.
And he has such a great track record of making perfect movies and comedic movies.
Yeah.
So that would be a nice touch. Glen Powell, good for him. Obviously from Top Gun Maverick, Twisters, Anyone But You. He's on a hot streak right now.
Yeah.
He's got the muscles. Let me just ask you a random question right now.
Sure.
Okay. Because I was scrolling on the internet, as one does.
Right.
And I saw that there are some rumors, speaking of reboots, that they might be rebooting Indiana Jones.
Oh, that way.
No, I love it. See, that was my reaction too. It was like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
But then they're like, who could be the next Indiana Jones? I'm like, could Glen Powell be the next Indiana Jones? Or is he too muscly and perfect?
You know what? I think he's a little aging out of it, and that's not saying that he's old, but I think Chris Pratt would have been a good reboot
think so?
because he does like that kind of thing where, or even like a Brendan Fraser. Now Brendan Fraser's too old right now at this point, but like at that time, like he has like the Mummy vibe, or during the Mummy movies, like he has like that charm, that charisma, that badassery, but also like it always feels like he's fighting his way uphill. So like you're rooting for this guy, and so he always had that personality, and I think Chris Pratt also had that personality that he could do something similar to like Guardians of the Galaxy.
So vulnerability and flaws.
Yeah,
but
and
also,
so I guess I could see Glen Powell doing it. But why would you?
There was one other suggestion.
Who?
Another actor who's on a hot streak right now.
Tom Holland.
No, who's got the he's got the looks, he's got the charisma. You might say that he's
Tom Cruise.
Oh God, it's not a Tom.
Okay.
Right. You might say that he's fantastic.
Oh, Mr. Pedro Pascal.
Mr. Pedro Pascal, who's on an incredible hot streak.
Yeah.
Right now. Do you think he could be Indiana Jones?
I mean, I love Pedro. Again, I'm just like, I don't like the idea of it getting rebooted. So really imagining anybody doing it, it's hard
other than
to do.
Harrison.
Other than Harrison,
it's
of course.
obvious, and it's not necessary.
And how would you reboot it? Would you reboot the same story or just make new stories with indie characters?
Is this going to be like Gen Z indie?
Yeah, I don't know.
How would that even work?
I don't even like this. No,
you don't like this conversation
So
at all.
where's this rumor coming from? Is this a real rumor? Where's it coming from?
I saw it. I saw it online, so that must mean it's true.
Yeah.
It must mean
it's true. I pray that it's not.
Okay.
Well, you know what is true? The fact that they just keep making new Jurassic World movies.
Beating the dead dinosaurs.
Beating the dead dinosaur, sucking the fossilized remains and oil and hoping to put something together. And I watched it. It came out this past week. And the thing is, here's the thing. Jamie, listen to me. Jamie, please listen to me.
I'm trying to listen to you.
The thing is, I love Gareth Edwards.
Okay.
He's the director of Rogue One. Mm-hmm. He directed the first, the new Godzilla movies. He did the other space sci-fi one recently. I'm forgetting it. I'm at the top of my head. But the thing is, he's really good at showing scale. And so he's able to really put large things on display in a very great way that makes you, the audience, feel like the enormity of it.
You know what's big?
What?
Dinosaurs.
God dang it! Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this seemed like a good, like, okay, this is a good
mix,
start.
yeah.
A good start to putting this new Jurassic World Rebirth together. And unfortunately, there are some things that it does right. And I give Gareth Edwards credit for that, but there are other things where this is just falling flat on its face. Basically, for those who are not familiar with this movie, this is 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion. An expedition braves isolated regions along the equator to extract dino DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. Directed by Gareth Edwards, written by Michael Crichton and David Cope. This stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and Orlando Bloom. So far on the Rotten Tomato meters, it has 51% on the tomato meter, 72% on the popcorn meter. Again, audiences generally warm on this, but again, I think it's if you're looking for a movie that has awesome dinosaur action sequences, I think you should go watch this movie because it delivers on the action, on the dinosaur stuff, on the awe-inspiring beauty of gigantic monsters. Like, again, Gareth Edwards' strength. That's good. If you want that, if that's all you want, go for it. If you also want, a clear story, good dialogue, and likable characters, this is not the movie for you.
Oh,
it fails on in that regard.
That's a shame to hear.
Yeah. Feel free to interject or ask me any questions. But Rebirth, I would say, is the best of the Jurassic World movies. But again, the Jurassic World movies already, the bar is so low.
Dang.
But this is like the best of the world movies.
Okay, because I mean, you said you went into it with low expectations.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, again, the spectacle is good. However, you just can't help but again notice the bad dialogue, the acting that just didn't really seem inspired. It wasn't, the suspense wasn't there. Like, you kind of know, okay, these people are going to die. These people are not going to die, and there's so many characters that I don't know. There is the veil of depth for these characters, but if you really just look at it or think about it for a second, it's like this is very shallow.
None of what you're saying is good.
None of what I'm saying is good. Another thing, thank you for bringing that up, the quips. This feels like a Marvel movie. Scarlett Johansson, famously in many of the Marvel films.
Yeah.
And so I think they try to bring a lot of that quip into this, and a lot of it just doesn't land. And Scarlett Johansson, she's a great actress, but in this one, it feels like she's just kind of like in it for the money. It's so bland. The character is so, it's a mercenary, but mercenary with a heart, which is an oxymoron. And you have all this stuff again.
Well, it just feels like, with Scarlett in particular, whenever I see her, it takes me out of the movie because I've seen her in so many things.
Right.
But I think perhaps, do you think it suffers from that thing where you do a movie with so much CGI that you are not connected with what's happening around you? I think what made the original Jurassic Park work so well, it was that there was very little dialogue when it came to running away from the dinosaurs, and it was just all raw fear and terror and emotion, right? And you felt that tension, and when you're not connecting with the danger that you're in and there's no that they're going to survive, like the tension is gone, like it's really hard for the audience to get connected and invested or care because they know the dinosaur's not going to eat her now.
I would say there's a part of that, but also there's the scenes with just her fellow actors where they're on the boat, no dinosaurs involved, or they're at the museum, no dinosaurs involved, or they're walking through the forest, the woods or what have you, no dinosaurs involved. And so it's just even those moments where it just falls very flat. And there's a B plot in this film surrounding a family who, for idiotic,
always a kid.
for idiotic reasons, there's a dad a teenage, like a 17-year-old or 18-year-old daughter with her 18-year-old boyfriend and like this, I don't know, 10-year-old girl, the little sister, and then they're sailing across the Atlantic in a region that's known for dinosaurs of every variety, land, air, and sea, and they're like, oh, we're gonna take a fun trip across the Atlantic as a final time before you go to college, kind of a thing. And of course, they get attacked by dinosaurs, and then even the people, like the mercenaries, Scarlett Johansson's team, they're like, why the hell are you sailing over here? It's like, yeah, but like, what are the odds of a dinosaur attacking us? It's like,
high, very high.
It doesn't even matter if it's low. Like, it's high, but it doesn't even matter if it's low. Like, why are you doing this? And so the family B plot portion of this film, I think they're trying to make it reminiscent of like the original Jurassic Park, where you have the kids involved and you have like fatherly or motherly figures kind of there. But it just doesn't land. They're very annoying, and they really don't push the plot forward. There's one thing, not big spoilers, but Orlando Bloom, he's like the big pharmaceutical guy. They're going to the island to get dino DNA, so they need to get a big dinosaur on land, a big dinosaur in the air, a big dinosaur in the water to cure all these diseases. And the pharmaceutical guy, Orlando Bloom, he's straightforward. He's like, we're going to make a lot of money by doing this. We're also going to save a lot of lives, but we're also going to make a lot of money. And so, okay, that's believable. And nothing necessarily nefarious. He's telling you point blank, we want to make a lot of money, and this will also help people. So it's a win-win. And so they needed to make him be like the villain of some sort, so you could root for him to die. And there's like a thing that happens in the film where like this may be a spoiler. I'm going to spoil it.
Okay.
So,
spoiler alert.
So in the beginning of like the first act, they're on the mercenaries' boat. The family's boat gets capsized. They get an SOS signal out there. So the mercenaries, hey, we got to go save this family over here. So they go over there, pick them up. Cool. They tell them, okay, we get back to the island. We'll radio for help, and we'll get somebody to pick you up. But we're on this mission, and you're going to join us for this part, or the water part. Anyway, so there's a part where all these dinosaurs are attacking the boat. It's rocking back and forth. The daughter, she's going to call like an SOS on the radio, but the Orlando Bloom's character, he's like, no, like we're not supposed to be here, so you can't like radio in that we're here. And so he tries to stop her. She rips the radio away. The boat gets hit by dinosaurs. They both fall down. She slips and like off the edge of the boat, and Orlando falls into like where like the inside of the boat is, and she's like, help me, I'm falling. And then Orlando just he didn't even have time to get up and try to help her if he wanted to, but he kind of this would be very convenient if she fell, and she does slide off. But the thing is, it's not like he even kicked her off the boat. It's not like he framed her or anything. Like they both fell, and she just happened to slip and slide in the water. And realistically, he did not have enough time to get up if he wanted to save her. Anyway, so that turns into a whole thing of like, oh, that guy, he was so slimy, and now I'm gonna get him when I find him when our family reunites with the mercenaries on the other side of the island. Yada yada yada. And so again, it was a very big stretch of Orlando Bloom is a terrible guy. I'm like, yeah, he's not the nicest, but like, making him be like the big bad villain of the film, it's like it was a stretch. And so if he did literally push her off the boat, like, okay, then he deserves his comeuppance. But he's basically like, hey, we are all here to get paid and get this dino DNA and stuff, and you guys are getting in the way now. We didn't have to rescue you, but now you guys are making things worse for us, kind of a thing.
Exactly.
And so long story short, I don't know, the characters make dumb decisions.
Not likable.
They're not very deep. There's some moments where, like the John Williams music, the original Jurassic Park, they played it during, of course, parts where there's a big dinosaur and you're supposed to feel awe-inspiring. But like, if it felt unearned to play the music. Like you're just playing the music just for nostalgic reasons and like make everybody happy. So I don't know.
Except that nobody was happy.
Yeah. The thing is, the audience did, for at the end of the movie, people clapped.
Okay.
So again, audiences generally are liking the movie. There are too many dumb things to ignore for me to be fully on board.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want good action sequences, big dinosaurs doing stuff, and shot very well and beautifully, go for it. If that's all you want, go for it. But just be aware, like, the characterization, character development, and plot,
okay.
It's a Jurassic World movie.
Exactly. But James, I hear tell that there was something about your screening of the movie.
Oh yeah.
That made the T-Rex in your heart want to come out and like either chomp some people or kick them off a boat.
Yeah. So this is kind of ties in with our next topic of things that ruin the movie theater going experience.
What happened?
Well, basically, and I don't want to rant too much about it. This is the Rojas rant, but of course, one of the many problems of why people are not going to the movie theater is, in addition to the prices or the ads or what have you, the trailers, it's just other people watching the film with you that are being disrespectful.
Other human beings
that you wish a dinosaur would be in there for.
Right.
But no, we just had we had like a bunch of teenagers. Again, it's summer. They have to go somewhere. But my thing is like why do you go to a movie theater, pay money to like all huddle up in a corner and talk constantly, like run up and down the back, like up and down the stairs to the lobby, back up, through the lobby, back up, out, in and out, and then also like the youth that were very distracting.
Those youths.
They were like flashing their camera phones and just like looking for something that fell. Like the whole movie, they had like their lights on, looking around like in the corner. I don't know if they were looking for something or they were just being a-holes or they were just constantly talking in the corner. And then eventually you have somebody saying like, "Hey, like quiet, like be quiet." And then one of the teens, the gall of this kid, he goes, "Can you respectfully tell me to be quiet?" Like, whoa, you've been disrespectful this entire time, and you're demanding that somebody respectfully tell you to be quiet? Like, that makes no sense. And so that was just one of the reasons of like, if movie theaters can't, hold their audiences accountable. And then people are going to be like, okay, that last experience was terrible because, people are annoying. I'm going to wait till it comes out on streaming. And so why would I spend all this money to have it ruined by young, old, what have you, ruining the movie with their antics?
Get off my movie lawn.
I know. I was ranting, for much longer and more passionately with my at home. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it's just annoying. Like, no one's forcing you to be here. You could leave and talk and joke around or run around in the hallway. Like, no one's forcing you to not watch this movie, to be in the movie theater and not watch this movie and act like animals. So, I don't know. So that bugged me. What also bugs me is more commercials before the movie begins.
I feel like every few weeks we're talking about this more and more and more until probably that we're going to have like an hour of commercials before the actual movie begins. Some people claim some movie
theaters they go to, they have 45 minutes of lead up to before the movie starts, before the showtime is supposed to begin, but you have 45 minutes. But I know we were talking recently about how AMC announced they're going to be adding a commercial during the middle of the trailers to boost revenue because we need money to stay open. We get that. We think it's the wrong way to get money. But we heard you, but we don't like it. Anyway, so I experienced my first ad for this Jurassic World movie, first ad in the middle of the trailer segment.
So what's the difference between an ad and a trailer?
So a trailer is for a movie. An ad, there was an insurance ad. I'm not going to name the insurance company, but other people online are saying, "Oh yeah, I got a 1 minute commercial for this, or I got a 1 minute commercial for this thing. I got a insurance commercial.
Oh my God,
a full minute of some dumbass trying to sell me insurance." But the thing is, so like you have the very beginning of the movie, you have maybe a commercial or something or two, and then the trailers start building up, and then you have 20 minutes of trailers. And then that's not including the "Welcome to AMC, I'm Nicole Kidman," or the "Here's a Coca-Cola dance commercial." That's a minute long also. But in between, maybe after the third trailer, they play the 1 minute insurance commercial, and during that, I literally felt the spirit in me draining out. I'm like, this is sad. This feels like I'm watching, like something on streaming, because nowadays there are commercials on what you're streaming, whether it's HBO Max or Amazon Prime or Netflix or what have you. Like, ads are popping into things that you're paying for already. And so not only did they play an ad, but then you had 2 more trailers, and then you had like a teaser trailer for The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's new movie, and then you had the popcorn, the Coca-Cola, dancing, and then the race car driving, and the romantic scene commercial. Then you had Nicole Kidman coming out, and like at the end of it, it was 30 minutes.
Yes.
Of like, this is killing me. And sorry.
Go for it. You sound distraught.
I was going to continue by saying this is also destroying movie studios who are speaking up, saying this is hurting their business.
How?
Because
people don't want to go to the movies because of it?
So get this. So movie studios are speaking up, saying they're upset with AMC, Regal, Cinemark for increasing the number of non-Hollywood commercials before the movies. They argue that this practice negatively impacts the movie-going experience and reduces the effectiveness of their marketing efforts because they looked at studies and they say, people, after they watch a trailer in the movie theater, they're, X more likely to go watch the film. And so if you have people that are fuming during the trailers period and you have commercials having that negative emotion associated with certain movies or trailers, people may be less likely to watch it. Not only that, AMC and some other theaters, now when you buy a ticket online, it'll say, hey, warning, this is when the commercials or the trailers start. For example, 1 o'clock showtime. This is when the trailers start, account for 25 to 30 minutes. So now people are going to see that, and they're going to come in 25 minutes in, missing all the trailers. So they're upset that like these movie studios or movie theaters are playing all these ads, pissing people off like myself during the entire runtime, but also people that choose to avoid all that, they're missing all the trailers that they're marketing and putting money into the machine for. And they feel like this is going to negatively affect their bottom line.
I think it's negatively affected your soul at this point.
I am on another.
But I can tell. I mean, I hate nothing in this world more.
Literally
Maybe
nothing else in this world.
Not a single thing more. It's more infuriating than commercials.
Yes.
Than commercials and ads when you're just trying to relax and ease into it. And I can absolutely see that. I would be really interested actually to see the science behind, okay, I'm relaxed, I'm excited about these movie previews. Oh, that looks like a good movie. Insurance! What does that do? To all of the previews that come after. I want to see the actual science.
Right. I
think that for posterity, we should hook you up to a brainwave monitor.
Oh, yeah.
A heart rate monitor.
Right.
And then, I'm volunteering you for
I'd
science.
be more than happy to.
So,
no, I am very biased. I'm very biased because this has been a pestering problem that I'm more than happy for my brainwaves to be read and it turned into...
Do you feel like you're at the limit? First of all, are the movie theaters shooting themselves in the foot with this? I think so.
Yes.
And do you feel like you are at the limit? What is your limit for the amount of pre-show stuff?
I think I'm at that point where I'm done watching trailers in the movie theater. I'm going to show up 25 minutes past the showtime and just go there and just do that. Thing is, though, again, we're the internet age. We're the age of, internet at our fingertips. So any trailer that comes out, we see it almost immediately wherever we are on Instagram, Facebook, or, YouTube or what have you. So, a lot of people don't get their trailers from the movie theater. And so... But there are still a lot of people who do. And for example, like the Christopher Nolan Odyssey teaser trailer, they are only playing that in theaters, so it's not online. So anybody who wants to who's really looking forward to that movie and wants to see that, they have to wait through 30 minutes of BS and more commercials to be able to watch a 30-second teaser of a Christopher Nolan next film. So I'm at that point where. I'm going in 25 minutes in. Some people online have been complaining about this, saying that the movie theater they went to, some of them were they clock it, they time it, 35 minutes. One person says 45 minutes.
Oh my God!
They talked to the theater manager, and he's like, yeah, sometimes that happens. Unfortunately, the managers don't control this.
No.
They have no say. It's AMC and all these other.
It all comes prepackaged on the big reels.
And so I wouldn't, lash out at the employees at the movie theater, but these companies need to take note that people are reaching their limits. They're
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. So please hook up my brain to the study my brain
so that
waves
you can see.
And see what drives people crazy. But I think that's a good transition to speak about another movie that focuses on transmitting things to our brain waves,
really?
Or vice versa.
That's wonderful.
And that is, we're talking about what we're watching and what my wife and I watched. My wife hadn't seen it since forever. My first time watching it was Total Recall. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, came out in 1990. Believe it or not, one of the most talked about movies, of our generation, not of our generation, of our time. And I've never seen it. one of those movies I've never had the time or, big interest to check it out. But my wife said, I watched this, I loved it, I remember loving it, and I don't remember much about it, but I want to watch it. And you know me, I'm always down. Down. So we watched it a couple of days ago, and this was, again, I've heard mixed things, mostly good things about this film. That it's one of the best, better Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. And so, but I know it's a 90s, 90s movie, so, expectations are kind of tampered. So I went in not expecting much. I was pleasantly surprised with how good of a movie this is. This is a solid good movie.
Better than Kindergarten Cop?
Much better than Kindergarten Cop. But Total Recall, we won't go into it too much, but it's basically a story of a man who goes in to have a virtual vacation memories of a planet Mars experience implanted in his mind. An unexpected and harrowing series of events forces him to go to the planet for real and uncover a conspiracy. Or is he? Bum,
dun,
bum,
dun.
bum. Co-written by Philip Dick, who also wrote Blade Runner and Minority Report, 2 other great movies. So this is one of those things where, I've heard about this movie for so long, never got around to seeing it, and I watched it, and I was not disappointed by the hype, by the good buzz. So
Yay.
My question for you, Jamie.
Yeah?
Is there any movie out there that just took you forever to get around to, and we're not disappointed? You actually that actually was a really good movie.
Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get around to actually watching it, and it was one of the best New England movies I've ever seen, most accurate.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. The other thing that you and my aunt and the world have been trying to get me to see is Andor.
Yes.
I finally watched the first episode.
Okay.
And it was good.
It's good.
It's good. It's
Again,
good. It's good.
It's a slow buildup. It's not one of those movies or shows or series that has that is top heavy with action or all the information right now. This is a slow burn, but it's an incredible slow burn that builds up and crescendos into an amazing thing. And so the journey is really the fun part. So some people, when it first came out, were like, oh, it's kind of, the first 3 episodes are kind of slow, but it builds up. It constantly gets better and better and better. And so
I got to keep going. I have to keep. I will. I am.
You better.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Dang it.
No, it's great.
I will. I will.
I'm glad you're watching Andor. Have you seen Total Recall?
I have not.
Watch Total Recall.
There we go. Okay,
I recommend
that's
it.
next.
Watch it with your husband. And again, it is much better than I expected. My wife and I, since watching it, have keep talking about theories, because it's one of those things of was he awake? Was he asleep? Was it real? Was it not? Was it this? Was it that?
Very Inception-esque.
Yeah, it really is. And so, and this is back in 1990. And so this is a movie that the graphics still look really good. It's it takes place in the future dystopian,
Gotta love a dystopia.
Gotta love a dystopian future. And again, graphics-wise, it's fun. You get this is where all the cliche Arnold isms come from, like the get down, like all that stuff is in there, but it fits so perfectly, and so I totally recommend Total Recall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing that kind of took me a little bit by surprise is a cartoon that my kids are obsessed with right now. Brand new season up on Disney Plus. Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb.
You ever watched that?
It's a great cartoon.
It is a great. I've never seen it before. First came out in 2007.
Yeah.
And had 4 seasons between 2007 and 2015. And then they were done, right? They were done for a long time until they signed this new deal with Disney. And now they're back with a brand new season. I started watching this with my kids. It's wholesome.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's smart.
It's cute. It's very smart. And I love it. I love it. I want my kids to watch this.
Yeah.
It's so cute. So it's about Phineas and Ferb, these 2 stepbrothers. Did you know they were stepbrothers? Yeah. There's lore. There's tons of lore behind this. So that I thought that was cool.
Perry the platypus.
Perry the platypus. Their pet Perry the platypus, who is actually a secret spy, and it's always trying to stop Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz, yeah.
Yeah, Doofenshmirtz. So that's always really cute. And it's like, where's Perry? And then we go off on that adventure with Perry.
His little sound.
And they're always, creating these amazing things. They're trying to maximize every single day of summer. And they're going on these adventures, and the sister is trying to bust them, always with the mom. And it's really wholesome and cute. And what I like about it, it's not about like contentiousness. It's not about drama. It's about kids having fun and a huge imagination and just having fun.
Yeah.
All of it. And it's really smart.
It's one of the better kids cartoons out there.
Yeah.
That you said has been around for a while, rebooting or recontinuing, I guess. But I got into it, I think in my like early 20s, because again, I watch everything. And so I came across it. I don't know how, but I was like in my early 20s in college, and I'm like, this is actually good for
really good
for a kids show. It's like, again, it's not like a show where the parents like hate watching it. Like they enjoy watching it.
I love
with the
watching
kids
it
as well. And I loved it so much, and my friends knew I loved the show so much, is that one of my friends gave me a Perry the Platypus like stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And I lost it. I don't know. It used to hang in my car.
Okay.
It used to hang in my car, my old car, and I don't know. I think someone took it. I think so.
He's on a mission.
He's on a mission. Either someone took him or Perry the Platypus is on a mission. But like, it's a great idea for a kid's show.
Yeah.
And
so I'm really glad to see it back. Perry the Platypus, he's so cute.
He's so cute and so awesome.
Yeah.
He's like he pops in and he's not wearing his hat. It's like, who are you? It's like, put the hat on.
Exactly.
Perry the Platypus.
Exactly.
It's so
and Doofenshmirtz's stories, how he was a garden gnome, like his father forced him to be a garden gnome when he was a kid. Anyways, really, really cute, funny stuff. And some people online, again, because everything people say online is true, have been saying that, is this the best kids show on Disney Plus, on Disney right now? Is it better than Bluey? Because parents love Bluey too, and it's all about. But Bluey is very much about growing and mental health stuff, and it's just very beautiful
for being about
and
dogs,
realistic.
talking dogs is more grounded in reality, where kids can put themselves in the scenarios. Whereas in like maybe Phineas and Ferb, like you can't.
It's more
build,
imaginative.
You can't
build a roller coaster in your backyard,
or a spaceship and stuff out of like wooden doors and like glue
or time machines.
And stuff.
Exactly.
But it's hard. I don't want to go down the path. You could, but I don't want to go down the path of like comparing is Bluey better or Phineas and Ferb. They're both great shows.
There you go.
That
this
any
wisdom,
age,
that we bring to you,
that any age can enjoy.
Exactly. Watch both.
There
we go.
Watch both. Excellent.
All right.
All right, excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for what do you like? Are you a big Phineas and Ferb fan or a Bluey fan? If not both, why? Let us know. Also, what are your thoughts on some of the stuff we've been talking about? Jurassic World. Have you seen the movie? Do you like it? Am I right?
Am I right? Or am I right?
Or am I right? Or am I wrong? I'll admit if I could be wrong. Because people are, generally enjoying it, though not everyone. Let us know. Comment down below. Join the conversation. Also, what are your thoughts on Total Recall?
Right.
Did you sleep on this movie also and get around to finally watching it? If not, what is your Total Recall? What movie did it take you forever to watch? And then you're like, man, I should have watched that sooner. It is so good. My wife, I was telling her that when we first started dating, I was telling her, the Henry Cavill movie, Man from U.N.C.L.E., great film. And I was talking about, like, we need to see this. You need to see this. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. No. It took forever for her to, okay, fine, let's watch it. Now it's one of her favorite movies. And so it's kind of one of those things where, like, dang it, like, why am I sleeping on this?
Yeah. I feel like it's the title for me, and like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It doesn't seem like something I would like.
I know,
But, it's a good movie. Are people going to go see Kevin Smith? Are you going to go see Kevin Smith and Dogma? And how much do you love Dogma?
Yeah.
Are you a filmmaker in the New England area, based from the New England area? Are you an actor, director, stunt person? Anyone who works in film is from New England. We want to highlight your work here on the Hub on Hollywood. Reach out to us. We'll get you on. James, good stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. And and going back to the shirt, shout out again to Chili Beanie. And if I think we're going to have more shirts in the future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have more giveaways and stuff. So subscribe, like, share episodes of the Hub on Hollywood. And again, just get into that routine, because we're going to come around to another giveaway, and you're going to want to be like well rehearsed and practiced.
We're well on our way to 1,000. That's I think our next milestone there.
Again, I'm amazed by the following and those joining the Hub Club. Last December, we had 300 subscribers.
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, we had 400. And then like 3 months later, like clockwork, another 100. Now we're like as of this recording, 531 or so. And so thank you so much for joining us and liking what we do, maybe our rants or what you like the most or just our local connection to New England and the filmmaking industry. But we appreciate it.
But and I think it's the rants. I think it's the wisdom, it's the reviews.
But mostly the rants.
Yeah.
Mostly the rants.
Yeah, exactly. Get us mad. It gets fun.
Excellent. Well, until next week, I'm James.
I'm Jamie. We'll see you there.